The competitor who wins this race is likely to be a strong, conditioned rider with experience and a well-tuned bike. Like these racers, companies need to stay lean to be healthy and efficient. Being lean means having efficient operations. Although downsizing has become a dirty word, companies need to be disciplined and to reduce their costs when necessary to be more efficient. Operations strategies should be designed to meet the changing needs of the market, to effectively build companies that are well-oiled machines, which can in turn build corporate financial value. ABT Co., a leader in the specialty buildings products business, is an interesting example of a company faced with vital questions about right-sizing and progressive operations strategies. Until recently, the company was a relatively small, struggling division of Abitibi-Price, a large Canadian forest products conglomerate. The parent company eventually decided to put this underperforming division up for sale, in part because it didn't fit with their core paper business. Understandably, they stopped investing capital in the division and made no long-term commitments. A small group of former industry competitors recognized this diamond in the rough. They teamed with venture capitalist Kohlberg & Company and acquired this orphan division for $100 million, renaming the business ABT Building Products, or ABT Co. The company manufactures specialty building products made from hardboard and plastics that generally substitute for natural wood and ceramic tile. Their products include exterior hardboard, vinyl siding and trim, plastic shutters, interior hardboard, decorative moldings, paneling, and tile board. These products are used in new construction, remodeling, and renovation in the U.S., Canada, Europe, and the Pacific Rim. ABT Co. has 7 manufacturing facilities in the eastern half of the U.S. and Canada. When the new owners took charge, they had a rescue plan to retrench, right-size, direct, and grow the business. A list of 45 goals mapped out their actions, many of which were aimed at improving operations. Realistically, they knew they needed to cut back to regain financial health. But what about the financial health of the families and communities affected by the cutbacks?
Letting people go is the most difficult job you have in business, and nobody likes to do it. I think you have to sometimes in order to preserve the jobs for the people that are left. In one particular plant that we acquired with the company, it definitely would have been shut down if we hadn't done the things that we did to it. So there wouldn't be 30 or 40 people without jobs. There would have been 300 to 350 without jobs.
Mr. Brophy and his team began by restructuring the company from a centralized functional organization to a decentralized divisional management, which reduced overhead and decreased the corporate staff from 110 to 15 people. They reduced the workforce in several other areas as well. They cut some wages and froze all the others. They negotiated a 15% pay cut at their only union plant in Michigan, which helped save it from being closed. They froze benefits by requiring health insurance contributions, and they reduced inventory levels and costs by carefully planning work in process and by implementing a new inventory management system that categorized items according to volume and turnover.
When you reduce inventories, naturally you generate cash. And since we were a highly leveraged company, it was important to generate cash. And not only did we put in the modern inventory type systems, ABC items and computerized and all the rest of those things, but we also put our plant management people and those responsible for inventory on an asset managed incentive system so that they were incentivized to reduce the inventories and weren't necessarily paid by their profits but by the asset management. If you pay certain people by profits, they're going to build the inventories and never miss a sale. So we switched the incentive program around to an asset management system.
At the same time, ABT Co. made strategic investments in plants and equipment totaling $7 million in the first year. Domestic siding capacity was increased with 2 major projects. First, they made a major equipment and process update at their largest plant in North Carolina. which included the installation of new hydraulics to open and close presses faster, and new wood debarking and screening equipment to improve the wood chip quality. Second, at the Michigan plant, they closed down a line that produced an unprofitable product and started up an idled line to fill a temporary product shortage.
One of the more reputable, if not the most reputable, consulting firm in the United States recommended to the previous owners that they shut the plant down. However, they didn't have the knowledge that the people that I brought to the company did in terms of operating this equipment. The former owners were people that had a lot of paper-making background, whereas my people had some very specific background on engineered wood. And they were the best in the industry. And we knew well before we bought the company that we could improve the operation.
With these changes, the company's siding unit increased its production capacity 23% in year one without adding new space or capital expense. Other plants improved as well. The Plastics Group increased their Indiana plant output 30% due to the popularity of new products. The new management also recognized many other improvement opportunities.
We speeded the equipment up. We improved the quality by just manufacturing techniques as well as using different raw materials. And we reduced some of the utility bills and what have you, natural gas and so forth, by just making sure it was an airtight system and we weren't wasting any natural gas or fuel or things of that nature.
Sales were strong, and with sold-out plants, the savings from these improvements went straight to the bottom line. The effects of the